If you describe Bola Tinubu government as an evil government, there are those who will say, well, you have the same political party.
Look.
Maybe you are all evil.
No, wait, let's not argue about mundane things. When you classify something as evil, it's relative to what is not, isn't it? It is. So by calling them relative as evil government, it's relative to past governments that we've had, implying that past governments were better. Were more accommodating, better, served Nigerians better.
Why do you think that?
In the sense of equity in the system, in the sense of intention to fight corruption, in the sense of being fair and just, even in the sense of security. Whatever happened, I mean, Goodluck Jonathan fought insecurity. He did. He was not so successful at it. Buhari took over and did. This government are not interested in that.
In fighting, is that fair to say?
They are not interested in.
You know, there are people. I mean, in a state like yours, where people Adamawa State that is bedeviled by this insecurity challenge, and one of the 3 states that has faced Boko Haram attacks over the years. Yes. Would it be fair tonight to say that this government is doing nothing in terms of security for the soldiers who stay up at night securing the people of Adamawa State, for example?
Let me tell you, my friend, don't try to blackmail me. Before this government came into government, Adamawa State was peaceful. Small skirmishes in border areas with Borno State, yes, but completely peaceful. Before, I mean, now we can go to our farms, except for a small area in my local government which borders Sambisa Forest. There's no more this. Sometimes, occasionally, they come down from the mountains in Madagali and maybe come down and forage for food. And anybody they come find on the way, they attack you physically. But Adamawa is extremely relatively peaceful now. And this government made it that way.
So things are worse in Adamawa now? Is that what you're saying? Compared to when Buhari was in government 2 years ago?
By the time Buhari was leaving, Adamawa was completely peaceful.
But things are now worse.
But now there are some skirmishes, like in my local government. Suddenly there are some people now coming to invade lands, drive out the people, kill them, and so on and so forth. But it wasn't like that before. During Buhari's time, it was not like that.
Big question for me here tonight is, where do we go from here? Either we like it or not, Nigeria is our country. Yes. We're going nowhere. And God forbid that anything happens that will chase us out of our homes that we call our nation, our country. The question is, how can we make it better? What can we do? And you talk as though heavens are falling, like things are really bad. What do we do? What must we do?
Now, let me classify this issue of genocide before I give you my views. First of all, the level of genocide is 2, even though people don't like to talk about it. The Fulani perpetrators of this violence, first of all, we know the Boko Haram started with the genocide, Christians they were attacking, so there's no debate about that. But now, you see that other victims of this genocide are the Hausa people. The Hausa people around Sokoto, KB, Katsina, and so on. They are the ones there. When you mention many people, Muslims are being killed, there are Muslim Hausas that are being slaughtered in their thousands, in mosques and so on and so forth. Then, of course, there are also the Christian genocide everywhere. That one, there's no dispute about it. Now, what to do about it? The government should assure us that they can give us the peace, security, and prosperity that we desire. If they are unable to do that, I mean, they cannot blame any part of the society that decides to seek help from anywhere. I don't know whether you know, I give you a story. In the Bible, there's a theology of Christian brotherhood, where we are considered as brothers, the universal church, in which we are supposed to be our brother's keeper, irrespective of tribe, nationality, or ethnicity. You are supposed to come to the defense of your brother when he's in trouble. So if the American Christians decide that they are going to come to the aid of the Nigerian Christians because they are in their stress, that is theological, that is biblical. There's ample position in it. Go and study it. theology of Christian brotherhood. So they are within their rights as Christians to come to the aid of Christians. And if Christians will feel unable to defend ourselves, the government is not listening. When you talk to government, they send their attack those, insult you, insult your father, say all sorts of things. You begin to be despondent. So they should assure us that they can protect us, and then we join them to tell the Americans to keep off our land. It does happen. I gave you a story one time when a Fulani man, headsman, entered my farm with his cows, and we arrested him. And we were taken to the police station, and he was boasting that, do you think that I can come to your farm without somebody giving me the permission? This is our government. I was even then an SGF. And for a cattle herder to tell me that Buhari authorized him to go and do what, enter my farm, was very annoying. But you see, at his level of education, he thinks that because the president was a Muslim, he had the right to do whatever he wanted and get away with it. And now that is the consequence of the Muslim ticket. It has given them the courage to go the last mile, persecuting people, intimidating people, and killing people where they refuse to be intimidated.
Christians are being killed in the north.
Massively, of course.
And this is a deliberate, so it's some kind of genocide, if you describe it that way.
It's a genocide. If it is not a genocide, it's a pogrom.
Is there a religious discrimination to the point that it can be described as a deliberate attempt to subjugate or some kind of genocide going on in northern Nigeria?
There are two things. You separate the emirate system and the traditional chieftaincy issues aside, jihad and those who were not conquered by jihad, and then the religion, and the consequent upon that, what is the dynamics between the Christianity and Islam. It appears that the jihadists have not forgiven the Christian community for not being conquered, and they have consistently used all manner of subterfuge to get that ascendancy. To the extent shown that if you call a Muslim nail cutter today, he's cut you and he will feel superior to you because he's Muslim. Now, one of the reasons why we protested the Muslim ticket was because, and I did say it here, it was going to give such fundamentalists, Islamic fundamentalists, the impetus, the courage to go ahead, feeling that now is their government. They've had a stamp of approval at the federal, so it's now an excuse for them to go down the line.